Buonasera, benvenuti, ciao, this is Massi as always. Welcome to our aperitif slash live chat slash Thursday appointment. Uh, so, ciao Marti. Let's give a little bit of time to everyone to get connected. And as always, get your glass of wine, cup of coffee, whatever your cup of coffee is. And in just a minute, we will get started. Buonasera Maurizio, sarò da te tra un paio di minuti. Ciao Emily, benvenuta. So as we wait for for a few more people to get connected, I wanted to start sharing actually something, ciao Sara, quite important. In the past couple of weeks, I would have to say, we have been literally actually flooded by requests for 2021 and 2022. So this is something that is actually useful for all the brides, no matter where you're getting married, at home or a destination wedding. But it seems that, as BB King used to say, the thrill is gone. So now all of the couples are actually back on the move to find the perfect venue, the perfect vendors. And so my suggestion, literally from experience, by seeing what is happening these days, is to get on with the planning. Literally, make sure that you check availability for your vendors, for your venues. Remember that it's always possible to put an option on something. So if you want something but you're not certain of the vendor or the date, put an option on that specific item, on that specific date. It will be kept for you for between 3 days and a couple of weeks, depending what it is, and that will give you time to assure that what you're booking is perfect for you, and that you do not lose it in the meantime. So this is just a little bit of an input, but I feel that it's very important, especially these very days. Other than this, before we get on with our guest today, I wanted to remind you that we have a prize every month. Emily is with us. She was the winner last month of the champagne. This month, the prize is totally different. And as you know, I don't spoil what it is until later on in the month. But, ciao Maurizio. Ciao Andrea, what you need to do is simple. Just be online with us, and the more live chats you follow, the more chances you will have to win. So we'll put your name in the pot once for every live you have followed. And Emily here online is actually the witness that it's true. So simple as that. Now, getting to today's guest, it's going to be a musical guest. So as you know, if you have been following us, there is going to be also a little bit of a musical surprise. So far for music, we have covered different topics. We have gone from an acoustic guitar in Marbella, Spain, looking into what an artist brings, what an artist does, and how to work with a single person, a single instrument. Then a couple of weeks ago, we have spoken with the Gloves, a full band that we have been working with for quite a while, and they shared their vision on what is in regards to the party compared to the single instrument for ceremony and aperitif. Today it's one further step beyond, and it's actually an agency. So we are going to speak with Maurizio. He's the head, of course, and the difference with an agency is that if you use an agency for the music at your wedding, what happens is that they cover from A to Z everything. So it's a different approach, a different way of planning the music, the different moments, the setups, everything. It's a little bit different. So as usual, we want to give you a little bit of an insight on this specific vendor, but also as much as possible, we want to give you inputs on what you can accomplish for your own wedding, whether it's in Italy with this vendor or in Australia with, of course, a totally different one. So, well, without ciao Breda, ciao Sophie. I just finished the introduction for you and for everyone that just logged in. So we are going to introduce right away Maurizio and his agency. Give me just a second to do it. And here we go.
Okay. Cheers to you all. I'm here.
Buonasera, caro.
Ciao. How are you?
Very good, thank you very much. And if you're ready, we can get started.
Yes. I sit and wait. Does an angel contemplate my fate? And do they know the places where we go when we're gray and old? 'Cause I've been told that salvation, let the wings unfold. So when I'm lying in my bed, thoughts running through my head, and I feel the love is dead, I'm loving angels instead. And through it all, she offers me protection, a love and affection, when I'm right or wrong, and down the waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know the life won't break me. When I come to call, she won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead.
Grazie mille Maurizio, buonasera. Well, what a lovely little coffee break for me. What a lovely introduction for our viewers.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. And I was explaining just before connecting with you the difference between. Thank you, Emily. I was explaining to our viewers the difference between when we spoke a little while ago with a guitar player, so just one person. Then we spoke a little after to a band, and now we are speaking to someone that covers, as I said, from A to see everything in a wedding.
Yes, exactly.
So you're welcome. So if you want maybe to introduce yourself, what you do a little bit, ciao Sioban, and just for the viewers to introduce what is that you do.
Yeah, that's right. What I say is that after many years in which we play and we try to offer the service, the musical service, in 2 or 3 ways that that were also just the same every time. I try to expand this vision, and with the collaboration of some musicians that are who are very near to me, I thought that it was the time to create a new reality, and so this is the first step that brings to create MA Events in Musica. MA Events in Musica is a service that comprehend some different situation with some musician that cover some needs about ceremony and about receptions, and it depends from what kind of music the spouses really need, and depends also by the genre, the kind of music, and how many musicians are needed to play and to satisfy this particular need. So
Of course. So
that the first step. The fact is that some musicians are chained to me after many years of collaboration and friendness. So it was easy enough to create this reality, and we try to offer anyway a particular product, and we try to switch to just to offer a tailor-made service, trying to understand the needs, what they have in mind, what the spouses have in mind about their event. So this is the...
exactly. So basically, what an agency does is being able to cover from the ceremony to the aperitif to the party, covering all of the different moments of the wedding, keeping an eye on the whole picture, the full picture, and so suggesting slight touches from one moment or the other to make sure that everything follows a certain flow. And when we were speaking the last time, Maurizio, you were telling me something very nice that I wanted to mention, that is the fact that everything starts from the imagination of the bride and groom.
Yes, it's the right thing. What type of entertainment the couple wants, really wants, what musical atmosphere they imagine for their event. And this is the first step. Sometimes spouses have a perfect idea about that, sometimes less. And in the second case, we try to suggest some possible solutions when we we understand that spouses are not sure about the musical content and the form in which music can happen. So this is very important, because we try to make some to make real some ideas, some suggestions, and this is really important.
No, absolutely. And you know, there are some couples that that go Saturday night always to the same pub. They have live music at the pub. They like the band, so they think, okay, why don't we just hire that band for our wedding? We like what they do on Saturday night. We're going to like what they do at the wedding. But it's a very different matter on somebody that plays in a pub. Not saying that the quality is less, absolutely not. But to have somebody play at a wedding, they need to have a different knowledge on what is going on and on the party, for example.
Yes, that's because in a during a performance in a local, and the band or the musicians anyway are at the center of the tension, because they play and they entertain the people, but during a reception, it's really different, because they are there are the way in which people can join, and so there are important music and the musician, but it's the aim is to enjoy the object of the night is really different.
Exactly. Yes, something that we both very important. Something very important that we both agree on is that music at a wedding has a different importance throughout the wedding itself. For example, at the ceremony, the music for the entrance of the bride, is just as important as the bride is. During the ceremony, there are some songs, some pieces that if they make you cry, it's exactly what it's supposed to happen.
Yes.
But if during the party the music makes you cry, then there is something wrong. So from very important at the ceremony to aperitif, where the music needs to be a background to allow people to get to know each other, to chat, to relax after the ceremony. So music is in the background. And then
Yes.
the party, of course, music is again very high in volume, very high in importance, because it's what moves the group.
Yes. Throughout this different moment, music can explain different roles, because during the ceremony, emotion, atmospheres through music is really the first step of the question. In other moments, music is tries to keep guests, to create an atmosphere that that can be really relaxing, and this is a really important because then it's the moment that people want to enjoy, and so in that moment music has a important role because it tries to bring every guest to a particular sensation, and it's the last step of the event that are so important as the first or the second.
Exactly. And sorry, Maurizio, if I interrupt you, it's just to cover as many topics as possible with our viewers. So going back to the difference between a musician and an agency, something important for all of you watching and thinking about your own wedding is that let's say that you book a band. The price is 1,000, whatever currency, whatever band, 1,000.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
the price. If you want to negotiate and arrange according to your total wedding budget, instead of 1,000, it can be 950, of course, a little discount. But when you work with an agency, they are also able to tell you, okay, your budget is 1,000 for the whole day. If you want a big band, 10 elements, we cannot also have a trio of violins for the ceremony. So let's do maybe 6 people in the band, 2 violins, and with the difference in the budget, we can also put in a guitar and the mandolin for the aperitif. So an agency is able to play around with the prices, play around with exactly where they are going to play at your wedding venue to make sure that it's well set up. They don't have to walk around and in between your guests with cables and speakers. So an agency covers all of these aspects that, of course, a good band, a good musician also covers. But the agency has this difference of having a view of the whole.
Yes.
Correct?
Okay. Many times it happens that as an agency, I personally coordinate the work because I try to understand the logistic of the event. So first, how many musical stations are needed? So this is really important because also the ceremony in the church, only in the location, but in the aperitif, so many times the music station is one, but in the second step, during the lunch or the dinner, there are needed another musical station maybe, or another musical station for the after dinner, after lunch, so for the last step of the event, and this is really important. And another fact is the composition. How many musicians are present, and this is another aspect really important to understand and fix the total amount of spending, because the spouses can have a budget, but if we propose a kind of musical entertainment that starts with the ceremony and keep on the aperitif, and then last to the after the cutting cake. We try to organize and to optimize every moment of the event, and everything has to be perfect. Everything cannot be wrong, and every detail can be underlined. This is the logistic of the entire event. About the musician, many musicians, what kind of music, and how many musical stations we have to cover.
We have to implement, of course, and to pick up on this detail, of course, budget, it's always the last thing that everybody wants to talk about, because budget, it's always the only unhappy detail, because we always have a budget, whether we like it or not, and it is very important to be able to assure that a couple, a wedding, can have exactly what the bride and groom want within their budget. What I always say to my couples, and those that are married with us and that are watching will know it, I always say at the very beginning, if we didn't have to keep the budget in mind, it would be very easy to be a wedding planner. You just buy the most expensive of everything, and definitely you cannot go wrong. But it's important to be able to grant our brides and grooms what they want at the price that they can afford. And okay. One last thing with you, Maurizio. Also, in regards not only strictly to budget, but in regards to the way we as wedding planners or you as an agency work with the brides and grooms, is that it's important for us to know what you like and what you want, but also what you don't like and what you don't want, because the more we know you, the more it can be perfect. And by knowing you as bride and groom, we need to know what you want, but also what you literally want to exclude. So that's the only way to make something perfect, by giving you what you desire, yes, and excluding what you hate, literally. Can be music, can be anything else.
I agree. I remember an experience of some years ago, a couple of spouses, one Italian and one Russian, and talking about the repertoire, we discovered that they don't like absolutely George Michael and Elton John, and they pray us not to play him. This is
so yeah, everybody has a taste. I mean, and I hope nobody will hate me for this, but as far as George Michael is concerned, I quite agree with them. Elton John, to me, it's a little bit of a classic, so you cannot hate Elton John. George Michael, it's a little too much in the 80s, yes, and I can see my wife already is hating me for this, but that's my point of view. Well, but I already married her, so that's not a conversation that we need to have about music. So we'll think about it in a few years for the anniversary, but for now, George Michael is out of the picture. And so, Maurizio, I think we covered a little bit of everything to explain to our viewers exactly what to expect from this type of business, this type of vendor, what someone like you can bring to the table when planning a wedding. And so I thank you very much for it. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you had prepared a little something extra for us.
Yes, yes, with much pleasure.
Thank you very much, Maurizio.
What would I do with your smart mouth? Drawing me in and you kicking me out. Got my head spinning, no kidding. I can't pin you down. What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride, and I'm so dizzy. Don't you know what I hit me? But I'll be alright. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy that I'm out of my mind. 'Cause all me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give you all to me. I give my all to you. You're my end to my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. 'Cause I give you all of me. Oh, and you give me all of you.
Grazie mille ancora Maurizio. And in the meantime, I wanted to say hi to Lorene, our friends from Capri, Claudia, of course, and Lucio. Thank you very much for being with us. And you got in at the very end, but at least the last musical piece you had a little bit. And of course, for anyone, if you want to see this chat and understand a bit more about musical agencies at weddings, the video will be on our Instagram, on our YouTube, so you can always watch it later. And thank you so much, Emily. Very, very kind of you. Appreciate it very much. Scusa Maurizio?
Cheers to you all.
And so before I let you go on with your late afternoon, evening, or day if you're in the US, just remember, log into our live chats to have a chance to win our next prize, which I have not yet said what will be, but it will be delivered directly to your door. So you just need to log into the live chats, and that's just it. Next week will be, of course, live again with a different guest, and you will see who it is on Instagram in the following days. If you have any questions for Maurizio, feel free to contact them directly or write to us on Instagram, as usual, all of the different channels. Whatever you want, we're always here. And always, very important, if your wedding is not in Italy, Spain, France, or it's not with us at all, doesn't matter. If you have a question, we are happy to answer. A little help has never hurt anybody. So we're happy to be of help. Maurizio, grazie mille per tutto quanto. Thank you for being with us. Have a great evening and well, we'll speak soon.
Grazie, veramente. I'm really glad, and it was a pleasure to be with you and to talk with you. Thank you.
Thank you Maurizio, grazie mille, buona serata ancora.
Ciao a tutti.
Ciao,
Bye bye.
ciao, ciao, ciao a tutti. Bye bye.